Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a hooded eye tutorial, what to do and what not to do if you have hooded eyes. Much promised because I mentioned it in my last video and I've had several people ask me when I was going to do it. So I'm going to hop right on right now and get this done. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing some subtle changes. That's what makeup is, subtle changes that make a huge impact, okay? And so the first thing we need to figure out is, do you have hooded eyes? And so hooded eyes, that's a lot of people do. And a lot of times when I do people's makeup, they say, oh, don't even bother doing my shadow because you're not even able to see it anyway. Well, if you do it properly, you're going to see it more than someone without hooded eyes, and you're going to make a bigger impact and you're going to lift the eye up. It's going to be an optical illusion that you're going to be lifted up, because what happens is as we get older or through heredity, everything starts to go a little bit south. And although mine may not be bad yet, I know they're going to be. I mean, I can just tell they're headed south. So hopefully these tricks I can take and get some new ones in my tool belt. So if you are wondering what hooded eyes are, it's when this skin right here starts to kind of protrude down. Now, sometimes it can kind of do this and sometimes it can kind of do that. And if you ever put eyeshadow on and you wondered where it went when you were finished, then you probably have hooded eyes. So what we're going to be doing is some really subtle things that are going to give the illusion that the eye is lifted, okay? And so this is going to be my don't do side, and this is going to be my do side, okay? And so you can already tell, can you guess what I've already done? Before I started the video, I filled my brow. Now, brow filling is all the rage. Long gone are the days where we have the 90s thin brow. And a lot of us are still suffering the effects of over tweezing and over plucking and over waxing. So I've filled my brow here. And if you'll notice, if this one has an arch, if you have hooded eyes, you're going to want an arch here. And so you just take your, you can take anything. You can take an eyeshadow brush and hold it right here on your nostril, and it will point you to where your arch should be. And you can even dip this into something and kind of put a little mark. Also, if you have hooded eyes, you're not going to want a long tail right here because it's going to drag the eye down somewhat. So this one has an arch. This one does not. So this one is filled more flat. So this is going to be the nose side. This is going to be the go side. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do on the yes side is I'm going to prime my eyes. On this side, I'm not going to prime my eyes. So I'm going to go in here with my mascara multitasker brush, which is exactly what I used to fill my brow. And so when I filled my brow, I just sprayed it with a Stay Spray and I dipped it into a brown eyeshadow. And so that locks it in place and will keep it there all day. So I'm going to go into, this is NYX eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to put that on my eye here. Now that's going to keep my eyeshadow from creasing, because I can promise you what I'm going to do here on my other side, on my left side, it's going to crease probably after about 30 minutes. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to prime it here. And you can use any brush. I'm using the mascara multitasker here. I'm not going to prime this eye, okay? Then I'm going to take some loose powder and I'm going to set that primer. So I'm going to dump a little bit of the L'Oreal Infallible, and I'm just going to dust a little bit of this brush here and just kind of set it just like this, okay? That way it's easier to work with. And so now it's ready to go, okay? So then I'm going to be deciding what am I going to use for my colors. And so typically I like to work with 4 colors. So I'm going to be working in this kind of pinky, kind of mauve-y kind of family today. And I'm going to be using these 4 colors. Okay. So remember, I did not prime this side. I did prime this side. Okay. So it would be really helpful if you don't know the terminology I'm going to be using to kind of, to Google like an image, because I'm going to be talking about things like the brow bone and the crease and the inner crease and the lid and things like that. And a lot of it's going to be common sense, but some of it may not be familiar to you. So I'm going to start off by going into my transition color, and I'm going to be using the Eyeshadow Everything brush from Mascara. And on the side that is a no-do, I'm going to take it in, tap it off, and I'm going to be doing like some rainbow motions. Just some like windshield wipers in my crease, okay? I'm gonna go all the way down here, all the way down, work it in and work it around, okay? So far, it's not looking bad. I'm gonna go in and get a little bit more. And this is gonna be my transition color. I like for the transition color to be very kind of neutral and close to my skin tone. Now, clearly my skin tone isn't this light pink, but it's as close as it can possibly get. So that's going to be the nose side. Okay, so I put that here just in my crease. I went all the way around, large rainbow motions. On the yes side, the side that we're hoping is going to lift upward, I'm going to go into my eyeshadow, tap off the excess, and instead of doing those windshield wiper motions, I'm going to focus this transition color higher. So I'm going to really work that in, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to like spin it around, and I'm going to really get it good. And you can even put it on your lid itself. Okay, and I'm going to go back in to make sure I got it really good. And I'm going to really focus planting that color on this outer part right here. And I can feel my brow bone underneath this brush as I'm working it in. Notice that I kind of stayed away from the inner corner of my eye. So that's my transition color that I'm going to be using, and I planted that good. I did do a little bit of windshield wiper, but notice I did not go in. On this side, I went all the way in, focused mainly on the crease, and then on this one, I went up higher, but didn't go all the way into the inner corner. Okay, so that's going to be my transition color. So my main color that I'm going to be using is this color right here, which is called Miha, I think is how they say it. And so I'm going to flip my brush around. I'm going to use a dense brush. I'm going to pick up some color here, and I'm going to put that color just all over my lid, which it's fine. If this is how you like it, you might think that it looks really, really good. And another tip, if you have hooded eyes, is not to close your eyes whenever you're putting on your eyeshadow, because when you open your eyes, it's going to be like, where is it? Okay, so do you kind of see here that I put it up here on this part here, and I just painted it on the lid and this crease right here, okay? So it really darkens my eye. On this side that I'm trying to keep the eye open and more awake looking, I'm gonna tap into that same color, but I'm gonna really focus the color on this outer corner. So I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna paint this outer corner right here, and I'm gonna go above the crease, okay? Because hooded eyes, you need to go closer to the brow. So I'm gonna go here, and it does not have to be, if you notice that I don't really have a system, and so I kind of like paint it on as if this were like a triangle. So like here, up, over. This was a triangle here. And then I'm gonna flip the brush around, and I'm gonna blend. If you have hooded eyes, blending is where you're going to get your bang for your buck, because you're going to really want to blend, 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 blend for hooded eyes. Because if you have, excess skin here, anything that's really not subtle, that's kind of abrupt, it's going to look so much better if you spend a lot of time blending. All right, so I'm blending that out. And I'm trying to blend it in somewhat with my transition color, but notice I'm going up towards the arch a little bit, okay? And notice you can already tell this eye looks more sleepy and this eye looks more awake. And so another tip that I would use is make sure you clean up any messes right here, because hooded eyes, if you have this color and it sags down this way, it's gonna draw the eye down. So I'm just gonna, since I have a cream-based makeup, I'm just gonna pick it up here, but I'm not gonna do anything on that side. So another good tip that I like to tell people is if you've got a lot of color on one of your brushes, just pick up a clean brush and you can continue to kind of blend, okay? All right, so notice I have a lot of color on this lid here, and it's really dark, and I'm even carrying it in to that side, okay? On this side, I'm going to kind of carry this under the lash line too, so I'm gonna dip back into this color, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna drag it along my lash line. Now this gives kind of like a smoky look, but I don't wanna go past really like the iris of my eye, the green part of my eye. I don't wanna go that, and I kind of wanna like draw it up, kind of like this were a wing. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and that looks really pretty. On the other side, if you have hooded eyes, this is what you don't wanna do. You don't wanna drag it all the way to the inner corner because it really closes that off. So if I would drag it all the way this way, it just keeps this eye looking kind of closed. So this eye, I didn't drag it that far. This side, I did. I pulled it all the way. Okay, so the next thing that I would recommend if you have hooded eyes is to go into some sort of neutral or light color. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pick up this color right here, which is Unicorn, and it's like a white kind of iridescent color. And instead of dragging that color over, I'm going to pull it here and go all the way into the inner corner there. And so that makes my eye look more awake, okay? On this side, I didn't do that because I went all the way here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more of that and put it there, okay? Then I'm gonna pick that color up again, and I wanna brighten that part of my eye. So I'm going to pop that color on here. A lot of the times I'll use my finger to kind of blend that out a little bit, but I wanna keep my lid fairly light, because if I keep my lid light, then the light is gonna draw things upward, whereas the darkness kind of pushes things down and things a little bit back. So I'm gonna just kind of pop a little bit more of that on. And then I'm gonna pick up that blending brush again and just kind of blend it and marry it all together, okay? You see how different that looks? This kind of opens the eye up and pushes it this way, where this one's kind of sinking it down. Now the next one is the next tip that I'm gonna give you is gonna be something that we've all done, okay? We have all taken this light color and we have highlighted the heck out of this bone right here, okay? So we take it and we just love to highlight this whole entire brow bone. I mean, do we not, ladies? And look at that. Well, the light of that white color kind of picks it up and sets it out, but then it's so dark here that it forces it back. So it's kind of like it's playing with the light somewhat and it just doesn't look right. So instead of doing that, what I would highly recommend, and I'm gonna clean this brush off because I still want to use the multitasker, is I would recommend going in with a matte neutral, like this color Cupcake right here, going up with it and only highlighting the arch right here. And do you see what that's a subtle change that really lifted the eye? Look at the difference. Can you even believe the difference? It's unbelievable. So just basically putting it right there, okay? The next thing that I'm gonna do is on the knot side, I am going to use this tight line and I am going to line my waterline on the knot side. And we all love that sultry look whenever we line this waterline. And it just makes us feel like the look is just so complete. And there's really nothing terribly wrong with this side. I mean, don't get me wrong, if this is the look you're going for, that's great. But if you have hooded eyes and you would like to open this part up, this is a pencil from NYX, and it is a neutral. It is like a skin colored, and it is called Keeping It Tight. And if you put this on, it's gonna open your eyes somewhat. I even have one that's white. It's a NYX pencil that you can do it, and it just opens the eye up. So I'm gonna put a little bit more of that on. All right, so that makes my eye look a lot more awake. The next thing that I'm gonna do is, if you want a little bit more of that sultry look, I'm gonna tight line the waterline up here. So I'm just gonna kind of, and you gotta get used to that, because you kind of just have to look down and just kind of tight line this part. And I always want to blink. And so if you want a little bit of that smoky kind of look that kind of darkens your lash line a little bit at the top, then that will help you to accomplish that. Now, I am not the best person when it comes to a wing. On my eyes, I can do wings on other people because it seems like my eyes just don't want to do a wing, but I'm gonna attempt it. So if you have hooded eyes, you've probably drawn wings on your eyes before and you wonder where they went once you let it go. See, it like left. So if I draw this here, you almost want to like keep drawing it and keep moving it to kind of make it appear, okay? And it doesn't work very well. So What I would recommend if you want that winged eye look is to go in with the tight line and just go up even more onto your lash line. Like push it in a little bit more and darken it with this part right here. My very last tip that I have for the hooded eye look, you're not even gonna believe this, is to get some false lashes. This is not gonna be every day. Like I'm not gonna do this every day whenever I'm going to teach school. But if you have time in the mornings and you like the look of lashes, is buy a pack of lashes, cut off a tiny one, and we're gonna try for the cat eye look. Now, if you have a cat eye look, you're clearly gonna go up, which gives the illusion that your eye is lifted. So what I did was I used one lash and I snipped off a little part right here, and I'm gonna use Duo lash glue, and I'm gonna put this here. It does take a little bit of time. And then another tip that I like is I like to put the glue directly on my eye. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the lash on the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna wait till it gets a little bit tacky, and I'm gonna go in really close so that you guys can see. I'm gonna clean up any of my messes here. And that way you can kind of see, like this eye looks so much more lifted than this side. So there's a lot that you can do with your makeup, just little subtle things. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to put this on the very edge of my lashes, and look at that. It gives like a cat eye look. So I'm gonna get in a little bit closer, and you don't have the aggravation of having where it always wants to pop up right here, but it gives kind of the illusion that it's popped up on this side. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer, and then you can even put some mascara on top of it to pick it up even more. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of what to do if you have hooded eyes, if your eyes are starting to hood, and let me know what you think. Tell me in the comments, or share this video, or tell me if you'd like some recommendations. This is Mascara's quad, and so you can get 4 colors in this little magnetic compact, and you can get something in the family. If you need something recommended for your type, you can just send me a selfie and I'll look at your eyes and your skin tone and tell you what I would recommend. Thanks for watching this video.